Good morning and welcome to the Social Show. You are listening to Viwe Tyolwana representing Social TV. If you want to know a little bit more about what we do, please don't forget to go to www.social-tv.co.za for your latest in CSI, CSR, NGO, social entrepreneurship, CSV, all of it. We've got it covered. It's a very cold morning and I am freezing, but I can't start the show without sending my warm and well wishes to all the people in Cape Town, all the people in Knysna who are experiencing really horrible conditions in terms of their weather. I really hope it subsides soon, but without any further ado, we're going to start our day with the news. On the 10th of June 2017, Dulux manufactured by Axo Nobel and Global Peace Movement Masterpiece will be adding colour to the lives of people in Khayelitsha in the Western Cape through its Let's Colour Walls for Connection initiative. The Let's Colour Walls of Connection initiative aims to inspire and energize cities around the world and make people's lives more livable and inspiring by using colour to transform walls symbolic of separation of communities, neighbourhoods, cities or countries into walls of connection by bringing the community together to paint those walls. Dulux and Masterpiece invite the community of Khayelitsha to join them to paint the wall opposite the Khayelitsha Library on the 10th of June 2017. The wall mural designed by Masterpiece artist Keenan Pullman will reflect the community's dreams of unity and will serve as a reminder of hopefulness for the community. The wall in Khayelitsha will be one of 100 walls that Dulux and Masterpiece join forces to colour in more than 40 countries this year. The community events will take place in cities all over the world, from Indonesia to Brazil, and will involve hundreds of artists, Dulux employees, Masterpiece teams and thousands of local participants. South Africa is one of the 4 countries on the African continent that will partake in the worldwide initiative, including Tunisia, Morocco and Malawi. In a recent announcement, Water for Air CEO Ray de Vries said that he had dotted the I's and crossed the T's of their latest offering, a bottling plant that can produce up to 3,000 bottles of the purest water per day and can be scaled up to any requirement. Housed in a 20-foot container, the plant is a turnkey bottling plant that produces the purest water possible from the air. The idea originated in 2009 when de Vries and his partner Paul Reglan Smith worked together on a water from air bottling plant powered by a wind turbine in Durban. Orders are coming in from South Africa and a number of countries in Africa and are going beyond, according to de Vries, and the company manufactures in Johannesburg and assembles the plants in Durban and now in Cape Town. And lastly, in our news, Thursday, the 1st of June 2017, saw the winners of the #Red experiment announced at the Young Blood Art Gallery in Bree Street, Cape Town. The experiment, created by Radisson Red in collaboration with the Young Blood Africa Foundation, encouraged local creatives to submit their artwork for a chance to be part of the hotel's creative team and a chance to win 10,000 Rand each in either the beer mat design 2050 milliliters or 350 milliliters takeaway coffee cup sleeve design categories. Over 100 entries were received, and out of the 3 winners, all of which were from South Africa, emerged victorious. We've got Mika Donnelly was named the winner of the creative beer mat design, and while Rikus Roths and Nkululeko Zulu were the winners of the 250 milliliters and 350 milliliters takeaway coffee cup sleeve designs respectively. And that concludes our news for today.
Have you ever thought about the power of social media? Social media has the power to make your business grow. Yeah. Why don't you let us manage your social media? Because our business is to see your business grow. Visit us at www.beastownmedia.co.za.
On this cold Thursday morning, it's only right that I speak about an initiative that's trying to warm up the streets and trying to warm up South Africa and communities in Johannesburg, especially. And today I'm joined by Zaakirah Vadi from the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation. He's going to be talking to us a little bit about the Operation Winter Warm campaign. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Thank you for coming in this coldness. So can you tell us a little bit about the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation? Just because I feel as though I don't want to speak about the campaign until people understand your guys' gravitas?
Okay, the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation was formed in 2008, basically to continue the legacy of Ahmed Kathrada, who was a prisoner on Robben Island for 26 years, alongside Nelson Mandela, Walter Sisulu, and others. And it was basically to continue his generation's legacy. And that was the initial idea behind it. And the key objective of the foundation is deepening non-racialism.
Yes.
And we do this through a number of ways. We found that Ahmed Kathrada was a non-racialist throughout his life.
Yes.
And we felt that it's important to continue this particular aspect of his values and principles. And how we would do that is we have a youth leadership program where we take in about 60 people a year. They go through an intensive leadership course, develop programs of their own, such as the Operation Winter Warm campaign. And then we've got a research department that looks into issues of racism in the country on an ongoing basis. We have
Yes.
public dialogues on issues of racism. And then we look at broader historical work. So the history of Ahmed Kathrada, the history of Walter Sisulu, the history of that particular generation and subsequent generations and their contribution to the struggle for non-racial South Africa.
Definitely.
And the importance of preserving this particular bit of history, promoting this history, so that future generations can understand the struggle towards that non-racialism or towards that vision for non-racialism in South Africa. Then we have a media department that deals with all of the media issues in the foundation. We've had one race reporting conference thus far. And we also have a very big archival section at the foundation where we welcome people's historical records, anything that deals with their contribution to the struggle or their contribution towards a better South Africa. They can come and house it at the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation. A large part of our program was focused on Ahmed Kathrada's actual day-to-day diary. He had about 200 engagements a year, public engagements, and this included speeches, awards, school visits, university visits, etc. And since his passing, that has obviously fallen away, but we now want to look at a legacy program for him.
Definitely. That sounds great.
That's in it just what the foundation does.
Lovely. And I'm sure a lot of people already knew that because you guys are everywhere. In my head, I see you guys everywhere. Okay, so let's talk about Operation Winter Warm. It's an annual campaign. It's been running for 5 years. Can you tell us a little bit about this, the involvement of the campaign and what it actually is, what it's for?
Operation Winter Warm is actually a very old concept. In its current form, it's a 5-year-old project. But it's something that started about 30 years ago in Lenasia by the old Lenasia Youth League.
Wow.
And this youth league was a very progressive formation in the Lenasia area that on a consistent basis challenged the apartheid government in various ways. So this youth league was amongst the forefront of activists standing up against the tricameral system, for example. And this was one of the ways that they saw an opportunity to get young people involved in activism and volunteerism in the community, as well as cross all sorts of divides at the time. Because during the 80s, Lenasia would have been a group area. There would have been high levels of segregation, not only in terms of race, but in terms of people's very conservative mindsets around religion, around a range of things. And this was a way to get young people from across different cultural backgrounds, different race backgrounds, interacting with each other through a common project to address issues of poverty, to address issues of food shortages, etc. And basically just to share a bit of goodwill. And this particular notion was then taken up in various forms throughout the years in Lenasia. And the foundation's initiative particularly started 5 years ago. And it started off with a good grouping of young people coming together, going door to door, knocking on houses, asking people basically for blankets, food, this non-perishable food items, clothing, as well as books or toys that they could donate. And this is then packaged, sorted out, packaged, and then distributed to the less fortunate. Last year, we had between 300 and 400 volunteers over probably the coldest weekend in Johannesburg.
It's a lot of people to get out, come out, yeah.
It's a phenomenal amount of young people.
Yes.
And this year, we aim to get 1,000 young people. And our youth coordinator, Busisiwe Nkosi, says that this year we have already 800 people subscribed for the coming weekend. And to our knowledge, this is probably the largest youth initiative of this kind that goes door to door anywhere in the country.
Yes.
And it's phenomenal in a way that we see a sort of re-interest in the aspect of volunteerism. And we've been saying as a foundation that volunteerism, community activism has taken a dip post 1994.
Yes.
In a way, there was an expectation that, government's going to do everything. But all of a sudden, we see this reigniting of passion for volunteerism, for community activism, and the fact that it's young people that are coming out and doing this sort of thing. And it's pretty selfless. I mean, all that a young person would get in return for this is a certificate of acknowledgement that they've done this work. And they can then use that certificate in their CVs or whatever.
Yes.
But other than that, it's a very selfless type of initiative that you're embarking on. So far the response has been good. And from our side, we would just like to urge communities to do something similar in your area and to contribute in various ways. Donate when people knock on your doors. Send volunteers through, and later on I can share the details of that.
Definitely. I was actually going to go back to that volunteering point that, volunteering is starting to grow a little bit more in South Africa. You've got so many amazing initiatives, especially this one as well. How are you guys getting the youth to commit? What is your strategy? Do you send emails? Are you speaking to people you already know? Is it social media? How are you getting them to commit to come?
I think it's a variety of ways that we've employed. The first would be through our annual leadership program. We've basically got a good group of activists going.
Lovely.
And many of them from 2012 onwards have said that they want to come back into the foundation, plow their efforts back into the work that we're doing. And this is one of the ways that they can do so.
Yes.
And then we've gone onto social media. We've had Twitter storms. We've gone into community radio stations. We've put up placards and posters. And this is all done by a very small team. There's probably about 4 or 5 young people in the office that sit on a day-to-day basis. Many of them in that team also volunteering their time or just these interns, pulling this particular thing together, and everything from start to end, from the way things are designed to the media, everything is done by a group of young people. So it's a phenomenal effort, and I think the community of Lenasia has also began to identify with this campaign.
Lovely.
And the fact that it's in winter, it's freezing cold, you have some sort of empathy for the person who you see in the street is sleeping with cardboards. And in fact, we think that just our posters that we put up on cardboard, there were reports coming through that those posters were taken down in some areas. So we were quite concerned until we realized that the likelihood of there being homeless people who were taking those cardboards to sleep on at night. And then we realized, this could actually be happening, and we shouldn't.
It isn't
take
about
offense.
it isn't vandalism.
Yes,
it's actually them trying to get some sort of warmth. That's really crazy. Can you tell us a little bit about your beneficiaries? Who have you selected, and how did that come about?
So this year we're doing things a little bit differently.
Okay.
Let me start with what we're doing the same. So last year we went to Little Rose Center. This is in Kliptown. It's a very impoverished community. So if you're driving alongside the road, you'll see that the type of living conditions there. And this center caters for a number of underprivileged children. And last year we took Ahmed Kathrada to this particular place on Mandela Day. So all of the beneficiaries receive their stuff on Mandela Day as part of our ongoing Mandela Day initiative work over the years.
Yes.
So we took Ahmed Kathrada to there, and he received a very hearty welcome. The children were overjoyed to be receiving some of the items. And we felt that this is a really deserving sort of place where we can, on an ongoing basis engage with the pupils that are there.
Definitely.
So that's one of the beneficiaries. Last year there were a couple of other homes in and around the Lenasia area that were selected. We also went to Plastic View's informal settlement, and I'm not too sure if people would recall that there was a fire that basically ripped through the informal settlement. And I think when we went to the informal settlement last year, we were very, very shocked. So many of us, we live in a community surrounded by informal settlements. So many of us may have been to an informal settlement. We have friends that come from informal settlements. But Plastic Views was really different.
Yes.
And this is because most of the houses weren't even made of tin material. They were made of plastic. So when the fire basically ripped through this place, it gutted the entire community. And there was a church nearby that was collecting items and then packaging it and distributing it to the community. So many of the contributions that people gave went to the church, who then fed it through to the community. This year, we have plans to start sort of invigorate a food and clothing bank in the area.
Yeah.
There is a food and clothing bank in Region G, but it doesn't seem to be completely functional.
Okay.
So the initial idea was to have some sort of sustainable project running. We are currently in negotiations with the region about this initiative, and I think in the coming weeks we're probably going to be engaging various community stakeholders on how to get this sort of an initiative going as well.
Definitely. It's so amazing. And I'm thinking now about the Knysna fires, and I'm thinking, oh my word, I really wish that this Operation Winter Warm was sort of a continental
national
thing. Yes, definitely. Lastly, I just want to say, so where can people get a hold of you? How can people get involved? If I'm a young person listening now, how do I go when is it? It's on this Saturday?
It's the 10th and 11th,
yes.
so it's Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah,
the main day being Saturday.
Okay.
That's it. So this time round we have sort of the reason why it takes place in Lenasia is because we are based in the Lenasia area. Our offices are there.
Yes.
So it kind of makes it a little bit
Easier.
convenient.
Yeah.
And also it depends on the amount of volunteers you get in. This year, because of the amount of volunteers, we may move to neighboring communities
Oh, lovely.
to do collections
Yes.
there. And hopefully next year we can expand a little bit more to other areas.
Yeah.
But people from other areas are always free to come through to drop off their stuff.
Yes.
And youth from around Gauteng, we even have young people from Mpumalanga coming down all the way
That's
to
so
participate
beautiful.
in this.
Yes.
So you can call the following number. It's
Okay.
084 493 6475. I'm just going to repeat that, 084 493 6475. Or you can follow us on Twitter, and that's at Kathrada Found, capital K and capital F, or at AKF_YLP, and that's our Youth Leadership Program Twitter handle there. And I think we basically, in the Lenasia area, it will be a door-to-door collection.
Yes.
On the day, people can come through either to the foundation's offices or to Nirvana Secondary School, which is where the main sort of collection point will be. And I'm sure you can just Google Nirvana Secondary School and get the details, and you can drop off your clothing or food items there. And once again, we urge people to just share it on social media, create awareness, follow us. And if you're interested in doing this in your community in the next year or so, please get hold of us and you can start something up on your own as well.
Lovely. That was Zaakirah Vadi from the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation. You are the communications manager, and so great speaking to you. And I think it's such an amazing initiative. I think everyone should get involved. It's how many hours of it? Is this 1-2 days? Maybe you can choose one day, depending on
And with the amount of volunteers we're getting this year, we think that we're probably going to get done. We're probably going to do the Lenasia area in about 3 to 4 hours.
That's
only.
what I'm thinking as well. So you're going to have so many more communities that could benefit because you've got time. Yes, if you guys want a little bit more information, don't forget to go to www.social-tv.co.za. You can email me. You can go onto their Twitter page. You can go on my Twitter page, Viwe for Real, and I will definitely give you more information as well. Please don't be afraid to just take some hours out of your day. It's a Saturday, it's cold. Think of someone else, and it might make your entire year, it might change your perspective. Thank you for listening to The Social Show. I'll be back again, same time, same place tomorrow with the very best of CSI.
Brandlive.co.za